gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah. Push and pull and...
If smartphones had actual personalities, this one would probably be the loudest in the room, in the best possible way. From its eye-catching design to the hardware packed inside, everything about it demands attention. Meet the Pura 90 Pro Max, featuring a massive 200-megapixel sensor and the brand new HarmonyOS 6.1. Big thanks to my tech partner over in China for providing this footage. I really appreciate the support in making this video happen. Hey everyone, Stella here from Techie Street. If you're into staying updated with the newest gadgets, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our latest tech content. At first, the design almost seems like the most understated part of the phone, but the more you look at it, the more details start popping out. Both the Pro and Pro Max models arrive with these striking gradient finishes that look like colors were brushed across the back panel almost at random. It's the kind of design that makes you stop and stare for a second. Then you notice an extra detail that ties it all together. The bezels actually carry the same gradient effect as the rear. That little touch makes the whole phone feel more immersive. Usually, flashy phone designs are mostly for people looking at the back, but here, even the front feels designed for the person holding it. Next to the regular Pura 90, the resemblance is obvious. You can instantly tell they belong to the same lineup. But even with that familiar identity, this still feels like a step forward for the series. The flat display is especially good news for anyone who likes using screen protectors, though to be fair, you may not feel the need for one because the anti-reflective coating already does an excellent job. Being the top flagship in the Pura family, the Pro Max is powered by the Kirin 9030S chip, and if you haven't heard of it before, think of it as a more advanced version of the Kirin 9030 with upgraded imaging performance. Huawei has spent the last few generations refining its camera system, and it really shows. Features like red peak imaging, variable aperture, and the RYYB sensor have become core parts of the brand's camera identity. Since returning to the spotlight, Huawei has clearly focused on getting the absolute most out of its CMOS processing technology. This year, though, the biggest highlight is easily that 200-megapixel sensor. On paper, ultra-high-resolution cameras aren't exactly new anymore, but Huawei is approaching it a little differently. Let's talk video first. The footage you're seeing here was captured at 20x zoom, and the amount of detail is genuinely impressive. The idea isn't simply to brag about shooting 200-megapixel images, it's about making that resolution useful in real-world situations, including video recording. Technically, it's not outputting full 200-megapixel video, but once you push past 20x zoom, the sensor switches into a dedicated 200-megapixel mode that dramatically increases detail. And this time, Huawei isn't relying on hardware alone. AI plays a huge role in the camera experience now, and honestly, that's where things get really interesting. The first feature is AI pose guidance. Basically, the phone quickly figures out what type of photographer you are. If you like taking spontaneous shots, you can simply point the camera at your subject and let the AI do the heavy lifting. It automatically adjusts focal lengths, recommends styles depending on whether you're photographing a man or a woman, and even suggests poses based on body position and the surrounding environment. It can even recognize props like drinks in someone's hand and give you suggestions on what to say while directing the shot. So instead of standing there in awkward silence, you can just follow the prompts and keep things flowing naturally. For people who prefer preparing in advance, there's another option. You can collect inspiration photos ahead of time, upload them into the system, and let the AI study them. Then, when you actually get to the shoot location, everything is already organized and ready. No stressing over forgotten pose ideas or reference shots. It makes the process much smoother and takes a lot of pressure off. Just remember, it's mainly built for photographing people, so don't expect it to suddenly recreate dramatic superhero-style poses for you. The other big addition is AI-powered composition assistance. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly practical. While you're taking photos, the AI can recommend changing your focal length or even moving your position slightly to improve the shot, especially when you're at famous landmarks or popular photography spots. You can also activate it manually anytime you want. If you're unsure whether your framing looks right, the system gives you multiple composition suggestions directly on screen, so you can choose the one you like most. And because all of this processing happens directly on the device, it still works smoothly even when your connection isn't great. When you combine all these features, they genuinely make photography feel easier, especially for people who normally struggle with getting good shots. It's clear Huawei put a lot of effort into making the camera experience feel more approachable and user-friendly with this generation.
This direct shooting feature basically ties together everything we've covered so far, blending all those camera improvements and smart tools into one seamless system that appears right when you need it. Say you're photographing buildings or city landscapes. The phone might instantly recommend switching to Ultra HD Panorama Mode. In certain situations, it can even suggest different color styles in real time, so you can preview how the shot will look before you capture it. That's really the whole philosophy behind the feature. With X-Mage direct shooting, Huawei seems focused on making photography feel less intimidating, especially for people who don't want to mess around with complicated camera settings. Opening the camera now almost feels like the phone is reassuring you, "Don't worry, I'll handle the technical stuff, you just enjoy the moment." I definitely recommend checking out the AI tools inside the Gallery app too, because there's a new live photo feature that's surprisingly fun to use. Converting a normal live photo into a 3D version takes almost no effort at all. You simply choose a compatible live photo from your gallery, tap once, and the system handles the upload and processing automatically. What makes it even more impressive is how flexible it is across devices. Photos captured on older phones and even live photos imported from iPhones can still work with the feature. Whether it's pictures of your pets, your friends, or just random fun moments, there's a lot you can experiment with. The final result creates a glasses-free 3D effect that adds a whole new layer of depth to your photos, and honestly, it's just really fun to play around with. You can try it on all kinds of subjects too, from displays and printed images to collectible items. The AI editing features inside the photo editor have also gotten a major upgrade. With one tap, the system immediately starts analyzing your image and improving it automatically. But what's interesting is that it doesn't just throw random filters on top. It actually studies the photo piece by piece and recommends edits based on what it sees. It almost feels like having a professional editor sitting beside you, giving suggestions as you go. And once the AI finishes, you still have full control to fine-tune everything yourself. Some of the finished results look incredibly polished. The film-inspired filters have a cinematic feel, while the wood blue tones give photos this cool, subtle, electric-style atmosphere. On the software side, HarmonyOS 6.1 introduces a pretty noticeable visual makeover. The lock screen clock, quick settings panel, folders, and even the built-in apps all look cleaner and more polished. Simple actions like clearing notifications now come with smoother, more stylish animations. The updated themes also fit this refreshed design language perfectly. One of the highlights is the Boundless Light theme, which leans into bright, vibrant colors. And if you press and hold on the screen, it can even process your own photos and turn them into dynamic lock screen visuals. Huawei also refreshed the Martial Arts Master feature. Besides the updated appearance, you can now interact with it directly on a tabletop surface. It's one of those quirky little additions that doesn't really serve a huge purpose, it's just entertaining to use. Under the surface, HarmonyOS feels heavily optimized too. It almost seems like the system can allocate extra performance power even for lock screen interactions. And once you look at the wider HarmonyOS ecosystem, the integration between devices feels much smoother overall. Another new feature introduced this time automatically transfers and syncs your photos and videos straight into the gallery, even while the phone is locked. Now that Huawei seems to have regained momentum in both development and sales, the company looks far more comfortable experimenting with fresh ideas again. The new features feel more imaginative and enjoyable this time around. Live photos already felt dynamic before, but adding the new 3D effect takes them even further. There's honestly so much happening on this phone that it almost feels like Huawei doesn't want users missing out on anything, which is why the AI constantly steps in with recommendations and guidance along the way. Spending time with the Pura 90 Pro Max gives the feeling that Huawei has returned to the form people remember. In terms of pricing, the entry model starts at 6,499 yuan in China, which works out to around £705 in the UK and approximately $953 in the US. And that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed it or found it useful, make sure to leave a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It genuinely helps out a lot. I'm Paley, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!